I'm going to head back to Zoom. You ladies are muted. That's great. And I'm not going to record this because I'm going to record it on Facebook. Right. Oh, let's get going. I'm going to share a screen. Double check that. Sorry, it's all a bit fiddly in the beginning, isn't it? With am I on Facebook? Yes, I'm on Facebook. Hooray! Welcome to Create Magnetic Content That Converts with me, Vicky Blades, your visibility strategist and confidence coach. Talk a lot about content, magnetic content. I love magnetizing all sorts of things. More money would be great. More clients, definitely. Let's magnetize all the goodness towards us in the world. And in business, we want to magnetize our customers to us. And one way of doing that is by creating fantastic content, but maybe quite specific content that's going to appeal to your clients. And I have done a presentation, as I always do. And if you want the slides, just put slides at any point during the training, and I will send a PDF of the slides. Now, they're not that fancy, so don't feel obliged by any means. But I know some people like to, look at stuff after the training. So I'm very happy to send you the PDF of the slides. And before I share screen and get into my presentation, let me just say that if you are here with me live on Zoom, I've got Orla and Linda, lovely to see you. If you're here live with me on Facebook, drop me a comment and I'm going to check in and see if you're there. And if you're on replay, just put #replay. Okay, so that's all the gubbins out of the way. Let's quickly get into the old presentation, because, the presentation is as much about helping me remember what I'm saying. What am I talking about? Okay, so here we go. And while that's loading, I'm just going to double check my Facebook group. And I still can't see anything. Oh, there I am. Okay, great. So here you are for Create Magnetic Content That Converts. So I've actually done an agenda. This is a first. Normally I just whack out what I'm going to say on the slides, and then I thought, oh, maybe I could just kind of be slightly more organized and tell you what we're going to cover today. So what does magnetic content do? Why do I need magnetic content? What kind of magnetic content works? And how to convert. And that's quite important, isn't it? Because we're here for magnetic content that converts. So we've got 4 main modules, if you like, to this training. And let's see what comes up first. Okay, so what does magnetic content do? This is really important, and you need to be aware of this, I think, when you're creating your content. So we're all about building a connection. We're all about having that kind of human element and connecting, via text or visuals, images. Did I just mispronounce visuals? Strange. Visuals, video. There's lots of different ways of connecting with your audience, but that's what we're doing every single time we show up on social media with a bit of content, no matter how big or small. We're building a connection. And I'm including just things like liking and commenting on posts there. That's also building a connection, right? It's all about becoming familiar. And I mean you becoming familiar. You want to be a familiar face to your potential clients. Because here's the thing. If I'm going to go and buy, let's say, skincare or a facial, then there are approximately, within a 100-mile radius, I don't know, 500 people with the ability to give me a facial. So why am I going to buy from you? Chances are it's because I've seen you out and about. Maybe I've seen you in real life, if it's, bricks and mortar business. but maybe I see you online all the time. Maybe you're popping up in my news feed. Maybe you're chatting about things that are really, dear to my heart, or I've come across your business page. Chances are, out of all those anonymous people, I'm going to buy from you because you're familiar and I feel like I know you a little bit. There is something called the mere effect, M-E-R-E, the mere effect. And that is what we do as human beings when we're cataloguing faces, which we do for our entire lives, from babies upwards. We're constantly cataloguing faces. And the mere effect is about thinking that we know people, and we think that we know people when we see their face a lot. For example, I once was coming out of Marks and Spencer's in Leeds, of all places, saw a couple coming towards me. I went, "Oh, how are you?" And they sort of nodded politely, and we didn't stop for conversation, thank God. And afterwards I thought, why not them? Because, I think I must have met at somebody's house, maybe at the dinner party or something. Anyway, as I'm getting in the car and driving away, I realised, to my horror, that they're on TV. So they were a TV couple from a soap, I think, or something. But I just thought I knew them because their faces were so familiar. Anyway, that's the mere effect. The other thing that happens when you create lots of magnetic content is that you become the expert. So again, if we go back to the skincare analogy, if you're on social media consistently showing up and talking about skincare, then when somebody says to me, "Oh, I need a facial," or "Oh, I'm looking for some treatment," I'm going to go, "Oh, wait a minute, there's this person here." Now, whether you feel like you're an expert or not, I'm giving you expert status as the person that's consuming your content, because again, there's that familiarity, there's that connection. I'm assuming, because you're online talking about skincare, that you're a skincare expert. And why wouldn't I? Because you probably are. Because that's why we start our businesses, because we know something about the subject that's dear to our hearts. So we'll come on to, I think maybe I'll do another training about being seen as the expert and imposter syndrome and all of that, because I want you to know you are the expert in your business, and your clients should absolutely see you like that. The other thing you're doing, this is an interesting one, creating a safe space. And we get on to talk about know, like, and trust factor. We do have to trust you. So we have to trust you that you know what you're talking about. We have to trust you that you're going to deliver. We're gonna trust you that you are what you say you are. And actually, we tend to do that as human beings. We tend to be quite trustful. So if you're showing up online, yeah, I'm going to 100% believe in you. And because I'm familiar with you, it's going to feel like a safe space, which is why I'm happy to recommend you to all my other friends as well. And the other thing about being visible online is that you become relatable. And often what we do is we find points of contact. Now, you're not going to find that with everybody, which is great because you want to repel the people that you don't want to work with. So actually, by being 100% authentically you, you are magnetizing exactly the people that you want to work with, and also repelling the people that you don't. But showing up online, creating magnetic content is all about being relatable. It's people thinking, "Oh, I've done that," or "Yeah, I think I've been there before." There's so many ways that we relate to the people that we see online. I'm going to tell you a few stories in a minute, but I don't know if I'm in my notes. Let me just check. Oh yeah, we'll come on to that later. Okay, so why do I need magnetic content? Well, obviously you know that you need it because you need to connect with your clients. But what's it going to do? What's it going to do, all this wonderful magnetic content that you're creating? It's going to build the know, like, and trust factor. So I'm sure you've heard this a million times. It's a real marketing term. The know, like, and trust factor is because we buy emotionally, and particularly women, and women do tend to do the majority of purchasing of things and services. And women no, I think all of us do, but maybe women in particular buy emotionally. So we have an emotional reaction to something and we go, oh, I want that, or oh, that looks good, or I want what she is having, or she's brilliant, I'm going to buy something from her. And then after we've made that emotional decision, the brain kicks in and the logic kicks in and it goes, oh, wait a minute. Is it worth our time? Is it worth our money? Is it something I need? And so on and so forth. But the initial buying impulse is purely emotional. And that's why it's so important to show up for your potential clients and have all that magnetic content that's going to bring them in. Okay, similar but different. So going back to our little brain Rolodex of familiar faces, we look for similarities in connecting with people that we see online. And what we like is obviously people that we feel are similar to us. And there's tons of research done on this. It might be that they look the same, they live in the same place, they speak in a certain way. I mean, there's, you know, gazillions of different ways that we can build connections with similarities. However, we also like it if you're a little bit different. And what I mean by that is maybe we perceive you to be a better version of ourselves. That's attractive. Maybe we perceive that you were in the position I'm in now, but you've moved on or moved up or been where you are now. That's my next point. That's quite common, particularly with coaches online. People tend to coach from their own experience. And if we get a feeling that you're similar to us, you've had similar experiences, but you've moved on, maybe you're a couple of steps ahead of me in your business, that's super, super attractive and magnetic. Yes, it is. Right. So we can talk about later on, I'm going to talk more specifically about what kind of content, but one of the things you want to do, so I'm getting my cup of tea ready here, is talk about your journey. And that's a way of magnetizing people who are on a similar journey to you, who maybe are a couple of steps behind you and feel like you've been there. So finally, sorry, I've just realized that on Facebook, I'm very behind on Facebook. I need to just, sorry, I'm just going to double check if I've got any comments. Oh, okay. I'll come back to that. Okay. So, status is the final thing. So, we confer status upon you. So, for example, I'm going to tell you the first online course I ever bought was from a Canadian lady. Let's call her Sarah. And she kept popping up on my Facebook feed. And she made these little videos exactly like the little videos I made. So she'd be out walking the dog, she was in the park, she was in her garden, she was in her office, and she was like, oh, hey, I'm just popping on because I had this thought and I thought it'd be really useful for you to know this X, Y, and Z thing. I thought she was marvelous. I was like, oh my God, she's just like me. She's just totally spontaneous. She's making videos, she's helping people. She even, I would say, looked a bit like me, you know, short blonde hair and probably my age. And I just thought everything she said was magical. And then I found out her story and I found out, you know, that she'd made $1 million and she'd worked for this company and she'd had some amazing entrepreneurial breakthrough and worked with some fabulous people. So now I was even more invested in her, and she was like totally status all the way up here. I thought, wow, you know, I'd love to be where she is now. And of course, the next thing I did was I bought one of her courses. So that was my first foray into purchasing online a course purely because I felt such a connection to this woman who popped into my feed. And that's happened a few times since. I'd like to know, for anybody watching, and you guys here on Zoom, pop it in the chat, if you know what I'm talking about. Have you ever connected with someone who seemingly might be a random stranger online, but you started following them, you started liking them, and maybe you've even bought from them? I'd love to know your experience, because I feel like I'm not the only one that happens to. So I'm going to give you a min just while I drink my tea. And by the way, if you're watching this on replay, feel free to, ask the questions, answer the questions, and pop in any comments, because I'll always come back and check them out. So, have you ever been attracted, magnetized, connected to somebody seemingly random online and become a devout follower, fan, client, buyer? I'd love to know your experiences. In fact, what I'm doing, I'm just going to come off share, because I know share can be a bit headachy for people. So, I've got another story. I got a client once because I did a really short video on procrastination. And I remember it really well. Now, I'm not saying that was the first time she saw me. I don't think it was. I think she might have been in my group, or she might have already been watching some of my videos. I don't know. But I remember she said, I saw your video on procrastination and I knew in that moment you were the coach for me. So that's pretty magic, isn't it? If only I could bottle that. Okay, so Orla says, I loved someone online and then got the chance to study with them in real life. Magic. Except you didn't like their energy at all. Oh, that's really interesting, isn't it? So I wonder if they came off very different in real life and online. That's really, I'm sure that happens quite a lot. Yeah. No, you never buy their work. Are you still following them? Let me know, Orla, if you're still following that person, because I've done that before. This lady, Sarah from Canada, I was an avid fan. I bought her course and I'm still connected to her now, but kind of a few things happened and I kind of I didn't fall out with her, but I just kind of fell off the wagon, it felt like. And so I don't kind of check her group anymore. I stopped buying her, products and offers, and I think we're still connected, but I no longer look at her posts or her group posts or anything like that. I think I'm still on her email list though. There was one person that I unsubscribed from because I went from love to dislike in a very short space of time, and I thought, you know what, I don't even want that energy in my inbox, so I unsubscribed. Right. Okay. So you are connected. Ooh. Yeah. Got to protect your energy as well, haven't you? I feel. Yeah, really important. Okay. Let's get back to what's next in our creating magnetic content. Okay, so what is next? I know I'm screen sharing, thank you. Am I in my presentation? Here we go. So what kind of magnetic content works? That's quite important, isn't it? So let's have a look at what kind of things that we want to be putting out there. Now, I'm not here to give you a content plan. That might be another training. And I'm not here to talk about different kinds of content, but I'm going to assume that you already know that you have to put out some kind of content if you want to be visible online, and it's your choice. Could be videos, reels, lives, text, blogs, podcasts, whatever you wish. The world is your oyster. But I'm going to tell you now the kind of things that will magnetize your clients to you, whatever medium you decide on. So stories, stories, stories. stories are the way to connect. Stories connect us as human beings, no matter how, where, when, or what. So when you can, tell stories. And these can be stories, well, I'll come on to that in a moment, different kinds of stories, but stories to do with your business, stories to do with your personal life, stories preferably where you've overcome something. Maybe it's a bit of adversity, an obstacle, maybe it's yourself, your mindset. We love to hear how you overcame problems. And that's the kind of thing that connects us, because we all have problems. We all face obstacles. We all have to get through, get over, get on with it. So hearing how other people have experienced dealing with obstacles and difficulties and hindrances in life and in business is a great way to connect and magnetize. Okay, social proof. Social proof is about, well, exactly that, proving that you are who you say you are, that you can get the results. That, so I'm really distracted. There's a siren going off outside. How annoying. This never happens. We don't even have sirens here. Okay, so social proof. I'm going to say testimonials. Get testimonials from your clients and share them liberally. Sprinkle them everywhere, whether it's a bit of text, whether it's a video, which I always advocate. Video testimonials are really powerful. That is social proof. And that's a way to magnetize people to you, because we like to think that, oh, you know, they got a lot out of it. That means I'm going to get a lot out of working with this person. So that's the social proof that we need. Personal stuff. I know lots of people think, you know, being all businessy and corporate and this, that, and the other, we shouldn't have, you know, any personal stories. But I beg to differ. Social media is a space for socializing. And as such, although, as we all know, it's becoming more businessy by the day, but as such, it is about being personal. And don't be afraid to share personal stories. Now, you probably know that being businessy on your personal profile gets better reach than being businessy on your business page or even in your Facebook group. And that's why I think you'll see that most people have turned their personal profile into more of a business content profile, but mix it up. So I still have friends. I've done a big clear out, so it's very much more business facing, but I still have friends and I still post things about life. This morning I posted about my awful experience applying for secondary schools back in Northern Ireland, and what a headache it's been. And I've got tons of engagement on that, which is lovely. So don't be afraid to be personal in your posts, in your content, because again, it's a great connector. It's a great way to magnetize people into your world. Personality, again, don't be afraid to show your personality. Maybe you can show people where you work. We love that. We love a sneak peek. We love feeling like we're getting an insight, or maybe seeing a secret side of you, or finding out little bits about your personality that we didn't know. My friend, who runs an awesome business in Australia, goes rock and roll dancing with her husband at weekends. Guess which posts get the most engagement of all her posts? Yes, it's when she posts videos of her and her husband doing the rock and roll dancing. And people love it. And it shows her personality. It shows what she's doing when she's not doing her business. And it's a great connector. She gets a bit frustrated because she'd like that kind of engagement on her business post. But there you go. You know, the algorithm loves it anyway. So selfies, I think, are really important. Now, I have over the years followed quite a lot of people, coaches, gurus, experts, what have you. If you're a magpie like me, put your hands up. Have you got folders and folders full of courses and freebies and lead magnets? And then the email inbox full of things that you've subscribed to because you were looking for the answer? You were hoping somebody else had the answer. You were doing it in the name of research. You were doing it because you're super nice and you don't want to let people down. Yes, that's me. But the people that I really rate, and the people that I've now narrowed it down, so I only follow quite, I would say maybe 3 people that I really rate as, you know, business mentors and business coaches. And they all have one thing in common, which is they post selfies with every single post. So you know that you have to post something with your text. So whether it's if it's a short post, obviously one of those color block ones, then you can't have a graphic with it. But any kind of textual post should have a graphic, an image, some kind of visual with it. And the best ones are selfies. And again, it's all back to that human connection, that building the familiarity, and selfies are the way forward to magnetize the right people to you. Again, another story. I knew a coach who got a client because that client admired her haircut. True story. Again, I don't know the ins and outs of it. Maybe she'd followed her for a long time. I mean, I don't suppose she just clicked on a picture and went, oh, great haircut, I'll work with her. But she told her that one of the reasons she chose to work with her was she loved her haircut. There you go, crazy. And finally, show your face. I've got a whole video about this over on my YouTube channel about showing your face and how important it is. I know lots of people think that making videos could be animations, could be narrations, but no, my friend, we want to see you. We want to see you on a screen, please. So that's important. Okay, let's just do a time check. Oh, I'm going to crack on. We're nearly there, my friends. Oh, hello. Yes, video. Of course, I'm going to say video is really important because, as you know, I love video. Being in front of a camera is my happy place, and it's my superpower. And I'm ready to help you with your camera confidence. Just give me a yell. But let me ask you this question, and feel free to answer Facebook or here on Zoom, yes or no. Would you buy from someone that you haven't seen on video? People are investing with you. They're not only investing their money, they're investing their time. They're investing to get results. Before COVID, maybe we would have purchased from someone we hadn't met. I don't know if I'd purchased from someone I hadn't seen. That might be a bit weird, but yeah, that might have happened. But now, surely you would only buy from someone that you've actually seen talking on a screen. Let me know. For me, it's a no-brainer. I would only buy from someone who I'd seen on a video. Maybe a training video, maybe they're, you know, running a course. But yeah, I think I would need to see someone speaking and moving before I parted with my hard-earned cash and invested my time and money. Okay. How to convert, we're on the final push, everybody, how to convert that magnetic content. So you've got all the tips on creating your magnetic content, the kind of things we want to see. If you're a bit confused about the word conversion, it just means sales. So how to turn your magnetic content into actual sales and get people to buy from you. Okay, so when you are selling, and essentially all your content really is selling you, selling your business, selling your offers, sometimes obliquely and sometimes directly, but you want to sell the result. I know lots of people who get very bogged down in, well, you know, there's module 1 and there's bonus 3 and there's this, that and the other. Most people don't want that amount of detail. Yes, it's good to have it maybe on a sales page or a document, but when you're doing content to magnetize people, you want to sell them the result. There's a lady, there's a skincare lady, that's my inspiration, look, in the graphic. You want to sell the transformation. This is where your social proof comes in, because your clients are going to say, well, you know, I came in feeling X and I went out looking Y. Or, you know, I came in wanting to get my income up to, you know, 10K months. And that's happened, you know, after working with you. So sell the transformation. Social proof is a really good way of selling the transformation. Let us know how working with you will help us. You know, what do we get as a result? How are we transformed? And remember that people are investing in you. Again, this goes back to what I said right at the beginning, which is that, you know, potentially we could work with any number of people, especially in the online world. The choices are huge, but we want to invest our time, our money, and our trust in you. So you've got to be out there selling yourself. I think I put that first of all, selling yourself, and then I thought, oh, maybe that looks a bit rude. But you are selling you as a person, which is why we need you to create that magnetic content all about you. Okay. And of course, your call to action. And this is what I would say is be direct, be clear, and be concise. And by that, I mean, always have a call to action. Always have a little micro action that your viewers, your readers, your consumers can take once they've looked at your magnetic content or read your magnetic content or listened to your magnetic content. Be direct, be clear. And by that, I mean, keep it short, keep it concise. So click on the link below. That's it. There's a tendency, I know from experience, for people to go, oh, I've got you here. So I'm going to tell you, first of all, my website address, then my email address. Then I'm going to tell you about the lead magnet I've got. Oh, and then I want you to pop something in the comment box. And yeah, and then if you want to get in touch with me, you can always DM me on Facebook as well. And if it's not clear, no one's going to do it, because our brains go, what's going on? So be clear. Be direct, say, you need to click on the link below. You need to email me. You need to put hello in the comments. Be direct. It's much easier for our brains to cope with. And be concise means keeping it short. Don't give lots of instructions. Okay, so finally, one thing I forgot to mention. If you feel you're not getting engagement and your content is not being magnetic, try putting a pet on there. I'm not even joking. Any post featuring animals of any kind is always going to get great engagement. If you have your own pet, great. If you have somebody else's pets, that's also good. If everything else fails, go and get a pet picture from the internet. But we love to see pets. They're a great equalizer, I guess. They're very non-threatening. They give us an insight into you and your personality. And it feels like a really safe way of engaging with someone who's essentially a stranger online. They must be all right if they've got a dog or a cat or whatever it is. And again, true story. I know, I'm trying to think who it is, but that doesn't matter. Again, a coach who got a client who said, I'm working with you because I saw your dog and I've got the same breed. True story. It's crazy, isn't it? All the things that connect us. So always show your pets if you can. That's my top tip for magnetic content. And then I really want to say the most important part of magnetic content is to be you. I know that you're human as opposed to the dog. I know that you're kind. And showing up consistently and showing your clients that you're you, unapologetically you're a human being just like the rest of us, and you're kind, will go a long way, my friend, to getting you those dream clients who are going to be magnetized by your content. And I'm going to go. But as you know, I am launching the Magnetic Mastermind very soon. If you want to know anything about it, please send me a DM with the word me, and I will get back to you with some more details. Right. I'm going to finish my tea, and while I do that, I'm going to stop share and I'm going to see if I've got any comments, and I'm going to get back to my ladies here on Zoom. Okay. Oh yes, Orla is a kindred spirit with all the courses that you've never watched. I'm honestly embarrassed when I've looked at all the folders that I've got. This business training folder, which I've now had to, I've put everything in there because I don't want to look at it. And I kind of scroll down, and it just seemed to go on for ages and ages, every single course that I bought. And I'm like, what? How did I find the time? Anyway, don't need it. Don't need it. It's all there inside, all the wisdom. Have you got any questions for me before I go?
Vicky, I'm really sorry, but I couldn't work the chat. I kept trying to type. Is that something I've done wrong, or?
I don't think so. I was on a call with some people the other day, and one lady had exactly the same problem, and nobody could work out what it was. So apologies, but feel free to chat now, Linda.
Well, I had the same issue with another Zoom call this morning, so maybe there's been an updated software, and you know, the fault is mine and I don't know it. Anyway,
could be.
I'll have to look in the settings and see. But yeah, thank you very much for today. There are a lot of things that you know, but you've actually parceled it all together and made it more relatable. Because various courses I've done, I know these things, but you know, it's piecing it all together in a understandable, simple way, because people do make it complicated, more complicated than it is, and it puts you off.
I agree.
You've made it doable.
Thank you so much, Linda. That's lovely. I'm going to use you as a testimonial. But it is, but you know, when I'm putting these together, it, you know, I could put tons in here, and it's hard to know how to kind of, you know, what to include and what not to include. And we all have those skills and, you know, tons of wisdom. So thank you for saying that. That does mean a lot, because sometimes, you know, I worry that it's too much, or yeah. So that's great. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, it's inspiring for me to, when I'm trying to get my mindset in the right place and go back to posting. And I know you've seen some of my older posts. So I know what I've got to do. I think I need to focus more now on the content that is the target audience that I'm trying to attract. Because now I know what I want and I know what I'm doing. And my MLM part, it complements it in the nutrition skincare side, really. But it's not going to be my total focus, because my heart is in helping people and coaching them back to health, you know, health goals that they have. Sorry, I'm nearly going to cough again.
Don't worry, need a cup of tea. Yeah, have a cup of tea, Linda.
Yeah, I think it was an oat. I know, I can't. It was the oat cake I think I ate. It suddenly lodged a bit.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Soon we'll have the ability to pass each other, you know, something through the screen. I'm sure it's not far away.
Well, it's a virtual one, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. I'm aware that I go over every time, don't I? But thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your kind words. And I'll see you next week for some more training. Yet to be decided.
Thank you. Very thought-provoking.
Oh, thank you, Orla. Thank you. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.